People change. Really, do they? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Mansi on record, and I hope you guys are doing really, really good. And I'm very, very excited to start this new series because I welcome you all on this channel with my warm heart and wish you all the very best in 2026. I hope you have seen the introductory video as mentioned. As promised, I'm here with interesting topics, but let's start without any further ado. So, this topic is very, very interesting. People change. Really, do they? I think that in the last previous slide, when I said there are complexity in every challenges and every events, I think this only comes from people because every person is different. Every body treats every event differently, overcome challenges differently. Change of human behavior has impacted history, past, present, and future, and how will that actually foreseen in future? Because people change, of course, people are the leaders. So, of course, when people change, actually evolve is the right word. When people evolve, leaders evolve, leadership qualities evolve, and then generational changes, as I was mentioning in the first slide. And this is how the system stability actually works. The first one is people change, as I mentioned. Individual and leaders evolve over time. Every challenges trains human mind, human behavior to tackle in a better way. The second one is system remains. Structures and rules persist despite changes because no matter what, no matter how the complex situation is, you cannot drink and drive. This is what system remains means here because yes, you were in a very jolly mode, you drank, now it's prohibited in rules that you shouldn't drive. You must not drive because it's not just your life. Other people's life is also on the stake. People change, people's emotions change, but system remains because system consists of rules, structures, law and other stuff. Now, mixing the people change and the system remains, we come to predictable outcome because stable system leads to expected results. If you know you were drunk and drive, you would know that a cop will catch you, you will get the ticket. So these are predictable outcomes that you should be aware of doing something that you shouldn't be. So I think this is a very, very good example that fits very well here, and if you did, you know, drink and drive, don't do it anymore. The fourth one is comfort and resistance because predictability basically brings you back in the comfort zone and resist changes. So if you were somebody who likes to drink and drive and there is let's say a new rule has been passed, I'm just using this example to make the conversation easier, so it's nothing personal. Let's say if you are very much indulged in drink and driving because you like driving after drinking, which you shouldn't, but and there's a new rule that has been passed, so that new rule will actually resist you from changing your behavior that you should have been before the rule has been passed. So I think what I'm trying to say is predictable. If you know that the results are predictable, you will go into your comfort. But if you know that there is for certain changes that are coming, your brain will be automatically ready for that change. And the last point here is structure preservation because that is very, very important. As I said, people change, leaders change. You'll see some precedent, in previous years for 4 or 5 years, and then they change, but the structure remains the same. Like if you want to renovate your house, you can do the in-house renovation, but you don't want to touch the pillars, the actual structure of the house until and unless you really want to break it down from the ground and start from the scratch. But if you want to renovate things here and there, in the house, it is very, very important that you just touch those points and not break the structure down. So this point really fits in here because structure preservation is very, very important. And yes, you can bring renovations, you can bring amendments, you can bring, new rules and new changes in the rule book, but the structure has to be the same because structure helps in providing, as mentioned, predictable outcome, which is really, really important. And I think in the history, even in the present times, that is what we see. As we talked about people saying, but why system remains, here we will actually see um why system remains in the same structure it's been, for the longest period of time. Structures stay stable. As I already mentioned with the example of house renovation, design changes slowly. If I want to revamp my vanity room, I will do the changes in the vanity room, but I won't touch, the structure of the living room or my bathroom, my bedroom, because I just want renovation in the vanity room. Moving on with the system stability cycle. The first one is foundational element, which is very, very important. If you make your house with bricks, like in India, we do have, iron pillars and, bricks, cements. So that is the basically foundational elements. So that is very, very core component, I want to say, that remains unchanged until and unless you really want to take that house from the ground and build a mansion in future. The second one is, yes, evolve design gradually. Thoughtful adaptation always happens, even in law, even in history it has happened. With new people, their new ideas, this is the second part, is the where those things fits. New people come in the system, they bring new ideas, they start evolving things here and there, but the first one remains the same. Like if you have played Jenga, you start pulling the bricks. Once a wrong one is been out, the whole thing goes down touched until you really want to revamp everything from the start. The third one here is preserve system integrity. Yes, system essence should be protected. Like every house, for example, every house has their, rules and regulations. So I think that is very, very important when we talk about even system, because let's say in the house there are only four people that has to follow the rules that mother has set or the father has set. But in system, more people, more complexity, more challenges. So that is why I think the system has to have the main purpose, main essence, why that system was, created at the time it was created. And I think that is very, very important to understand to keep the system up and running and in the best possibly structured way. Now, we will learn about what is. Please drop your comments what you have learned. Do you like this topic? What more topics do you like to learn? So, core insight and to answer the question is basically pros: adaptability, flexibility, and dynamic nature that people have and people bring into the system. Cons: resist to change, static nature, and predictable outcomes that system has of its own. And that is why with the old example, we cannot put these two boxes, these two things in green and red and say this is right, this is wrong, because these two things merge beautifully and walk side by side. If you really like this video, please, please, please hit the like button, share with somebody who wants to learn something new. Subscribe to my channel, Dr. Mansi on Record. And if you like my professional side, then I'm sure you will also like my personal side, where I am just a big foodie. I like to travel. I like to explore things. That channel is called Dreams of Mansi. You can subscribe that channel as well. It's always nice to be learning and upgrading. And if you are somebody who likes to be well read, well learned, knowledgeable, and wiser, I think this is the place and that you will find interesting things in upcoming videos. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye.